Today we'll be diving into a panic buy list, give you a full rundown of what you should be looking for in the markets. My name is Paul Barrow. Welcome back into the show. I do want to thank our sponsor, and that is Tangem. In fact, you'll be able to use your own self-custody wallet in some of the tokens that we're going to reveal today. Go over and check out tangem.com. You guys, of course, can start your self-custody journey. This is something everybody in crypto, even if you're brand new to crypto, try this. It gives you the capacity of holding your own projects and your own assets right there on your self-custody wallet. Check it out. Use our link down below. It's going to give you guys some additional discount to get going, and we always appreciate that. All right, let's get into something we showed you guys a little bit of time ago, and that was this video right here. This was our emergency Degen altcoin portfolio, and I'm going to show you the performance of that. We're going to actually show it to you later in the show, give you a full rundown of what you could have done with that. And again, this is not financial advice. What I'm about to show you, don't go out and do. This is something you should go out and research and make your own decisions. So just remember that when you're doing these things. One of the things that we're going to be looking at is the fact that we have got gaming and prediction markets leading the way in this next round and possibly this altcoin run that we're going to see happen. Ethereum holding it, and this is basically what price will Ethereum hit in August. Everybody pushing right now, if you look at the 48% on 5,000 and everything above that, this is a significant amount of people that believe we're going to be going up from here on Ethereum in the month of August. Here we are midway through August as we're recording this video. With all that being said, you got to start looking at this right here. And this is the amount of FUD that we continue to see going after Ethereum. This will play out like the GameStop-AMC meme cycles. Ethereum just not happening. I'd give it a month until the end of summer. Tech lead, don't follow his channel, by the way. And then go over and take a look at what's happening on Polymarket, because this is something new. And that is that Polymarket now has breaking news. This could be a news source, guys, and it will start to give us some indicators. As you guys know, the performance of Polymarket has been pretty much spot on. Shane and his team have done an amazing job at building a system that now everybody is starting to use, including, obviously, that was revealed during the elections last year. And I think that prediction markets and gaming are actually the same thing. If you look at the trends right now, prediction market and crypto gaming, this is all the same thing because it's all gaming. And that's what we're talking about, guys. Sports, gaming, collectibles, all of that is now converging. And if you kind of look at the interest over time, starting to spike right here in tandem, both prediction markets and crypto gaming at the same time. Now, I want to go to a clip. This will show you a little bit more around Polymarket's effect on how things are happening in culture, but also in really everyday sports. Take a look.
The latest craze of the WNBA is to go to the game and throw a green dildo on the court, and America's loving it.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor.
Look how she kicks it! Sophie Cunningham loves it.
Now, Polymarket Sports started doing dildo dailies. It got to a point where the WNBA betting volume on dildos actually surpassed bets on who would win the games.
You're a national hero.
I am willing to put together the greatest legal defense team since the O.J. Simpson trial.
They love crypto. They're currently around 600 members. This might actually help the WNBA.
Some people are like, oh my God, children are going to see the dildos. I'm like, children are seeing the WNBA game.
I, for one, am all about this. I'm actually going to start going to a lot of WNBA games.
Actually, I had no idea what the WNBA was either. The WNBA, by the way, is a Women's National Basketball League in the United States. Yeah, fun fact for the day.
So from that clip, you can kind of get to the point, and that is Polymarket has started to do something, and that is shift culture. And when you look at the sports industry, especially something like the WNBA, which has had a struggle, again, starts to showcase just the strength of prediction markets in general. Let me go to this point right here, and this is around treasury companies. And you know about Bitcoin and ETH treasury companies, what we've seen and the impact on. This is another one, a publicly traded company called GameSquare Holdings, that is starting to go into strategic acquisitions on things like Azuki, Anime Coin, etc. Point being is they're going to do, and I think many others will start to go in this direction, which will drive, because remember, it doesn't take much to move a token in the gaming sector, and guess who that is? That's Tyler Blevins. That's also the guy known as Ninja, one of the biggest gamers out there. He is now on the board over there as the CIO. So this just goes back into the point of how and what is going to be happening around the crypto and gaming companies in general. If you look at what they're holding, this is interesting because it gets into everything from Ethereum, NFT holdings. This starts to change the analysis of how treasuries can affect markets. This will move much more dramatically because of the assets that it's starting to hold. That is a factor you have to consider. Now, the other thing I want you to pay attention to are two blockchains and two projects that are highly underserved right now. Both of them we talked about before, Flow blockchain and of course Polygon. There's many reasons why this is happening. If you look at some of the DeFi data right here on Polygon, you can see the active addresses and also the stablecoin market cap continues to explode. And there's a reason. This is of course Katana. This is on Polygon and it is a vault. So I'll just go over to the vault real quick. This is the kind of assets that you can drop in there. So USDC, steadying in there, holding it right now, APY 50% on these payables. So this is an opportunity, I think, when you look at how vaults are going to play out in this market, and I think we're going to see much more activity on these. This will be a big one to watch for sure. So let's look at Flow Scan. New transactions right now continuing to move up on Flow, and there's a reason for that as well. Guess who that is, guys? That is ESPN. And ESPN is launching something pretty big, and it's their direct-to-consumer service. All of this is happening on August 21st. And everybody probably knows all this has been going on for quite some time. But now the flip has occurred. And with that, you've got to look at this. NFL all day. And remember, NFL all day running on Dapper Labs on Flow. NFL all day is back and bigger than ever. So we've got NFL season coming up. And one of the things they're talking about is launching an insanely interesting strategy, which is around social as a platform inside of NFL all day. So be on the lookout for that. I want to go to a clip real quick. This will get into where the NFL is going around social networking. Take a look.
To me, the thing that I did not see coming, which is that All Day is aiming to be the quote unquote NFL's social network. You will be able to get real-time news from top NFL reporters directly in your feed. You will never miss a great deal with alerts on key marketplace transactions, and you will get game updates and chase the moments as they happen. Never miss a great deal with alerts on key marketplace transactions. Can I put a price alert? Give me, send me a notification so I can go buy it.
If somebody buys a moment, they're gonna kind of blast that out like, hey, somebody just bought a legendary Josh Allen.
Chasing the moments as they happen.
That could be interesting.
That could be interesting. I mean, are we looking at real-time mints? Like, are we looking at a real-time mint of moments or something here?
When people are watching during game day, it's like they want you to be on NFL all day and
stay.
Now, okay, think about crypto Twitter. If you guys are watching our channel, you know how big crypto Twitter is. If you apply social into another rabid fan base, like the NFL and like sports in general, NFL All Day is a good example. Here's the example of the app itself, game-changing ways to compete. You've got Playbook in there. Look at this, though. We get into some very interesting elements within this. But what's missing here is what we'll see coming soon, and I think that is going to be prediction markets. That is going to lead to some other areas that will play within this that we'll start to see fantasy vaults. And I'll explain that in a second because it gets into some interesting points. Watch this clip.
If you've ever played fantasy sports before, you know that collecting and paying out dues can be a real pain. You have to trust the league commissioner, which could be up to 8 months. We store all the money in a smart contract. In the future, we'll be able to generate interest via yield sharing vaults. Basically, we'll have public vaults that people can join if they choose to. But if you want to have a private league, that's fine too. Only be able to see and join leagues that you send via a link to your friends.
All right, so think about that. You connect a wallet, you're able to participate in a fantasy league, you're able to drop the money in there, earn yield within that because your money is in the vault before it goes out into the payout. This will change how fantasy sports has been done. I think this is something to pay attention to as well. And again, we'll get into all that, but another thing I want you to take a look at is Courtyard. This is where we get into collectibles. Look at the amount of daily transactions continuing to skyrocket here. And if you guys don't know, Courtyard riding on Polygon, this is the home of real world assets. And if you look at Polytrade in general, this starts to get into the whole ecosystem of what could be the next generation of collectibles. And this is something that, again, Polygon is a big part of this. Now, this is a very interesting scenario that's playing out right now. This, of course, is Charizard Capital. This is a good example of how collectibles are being built as strategic reserves. Now, think about this for a second. Let me jump over to a collectible group right here. This, of course, is BZ. What they're going out and doing is buying real-world assets. These are collectible and tradable Pokemon cards that are worth millions in some cases. But the point is they're putting those into this strategic reserve, and then they're putting a token behind it. And that is when you get into this token called ZARD. We're, of course, on Deck Screener. Not telling you to go out and buy this, but I want you to pay attention here, because the way that this is going to work is these assets, how they're gaining reserve assets, is they're building this off of the profits that are made within this. So this is all going to build back into the strategic reserve. Watch the token ZARD as we go forward. Now, if you want to get ZARD, you can get it out there on Solana, or you can go over and actually get it on Flow. With Flow, it's going to unlock a lot of these keys, these daily keys. This is another thing, because it does drive token price. We've watched this happen on some charts out there. So just pay, and if you're lazy, and I don't want to say it in a bad way, but if you just want something easier, get it on Solana. If you want to earn some additional, juice, then of course get into the Flow ecosystem. Let's jump over to Solana. This is another thing that's happening, and that is we are going to see a lot of dApps starting to develop even faster. Remember, the Seeker is starting to land. Hopefully it's going to land here quicker, but because there's a lot of people complaining about that. But the point is we are seeing a lot of dApps being built right now. And one of the things is going to be dApps that will open up the opportunity for vaults. Now, this is interesting because this is Step Wallet. Point is notice that you can get that on the dApp store. And the cool thing about this is you to be able to go in and deal with these potential vaults. Vaults are a little bit tricky right now. This will give you the potential of doing a one-click entry. And that, I think, is and might be the thing that starts to really energize a lot of the volume in these vaults. Remember, we saw that earlier on Katana. High yields on these, even with things like USDC. If you want to get a little bit further into it, you can pair it up with other tokens. A lot of opportunity there for sure. Let's go to another one right here. And of course, this is Pengu. You've got Matt Gaetz out there starting to draw more attention to Pengu. And this is the kind of the attention economy. Luca Nats, we're going to try to get him on the show soon. This is another one to keep an eye on. We've talked about it many times. And with Pengu, there's a couple of points behind this. And this is all about how well they are doing in terms of marketing. Front of lobe attention. And I think that's a big deal that is going to drive Pengu continuously up the charts. Don't forget, guys, they're getting ready to launch a game as well. And this, of course, is going to be the Pudgy Party. The Pudgy Penguins Army is absolutely going to make sure that Pudgy Party is the #1 game out there on the apps. And I think this is the thing that will continue to draw attention to all of this. Now remember, Pudgy Party on Mythos. So Mythos, of course, alive on base. You guys can get liquidity over on Aerodrome. We've talked about Aerodrome as well. Let's go over to Wall Street for a second, and we'll take a look at ARK Invest, because typically what you see with, Wall Street is, it's the typical suspects there. Neuralink, Lambda Labs, OpenAI, Replit. These are early stage funds, by the way. And then look here at the bottom. Well, a private company called Mythical. And this, of course, is Cathie Wood. Pay attention, guys. People are watching how all this is coming together. And I think people are paying attention now, finally, because we're in the right place, I think, at the right time. Ubisoft is now alive on Immutable. Not necessarily the one I'm telling you to go after. This is Polygon. This is a Polygon play. Move up the chain and get Polygon. That will be the one to watch. Even though the price isn't necessarily representing it right now, this panic buy is the time to take a look. Other things that could be happening is coming soon, and that is SuiPlay, of course, is getting revealed, I should say, not revealed, but going to be doing some things over at Gamescom. Now notice the date here. This is August 20th to 24th. Remember, ESPN, August 21st. So there's probably going to be something that is tied into this, because you've got all these apps. You've got, of course, what we'll see in the fantasy side of the business, and you've got sports, betting, predicting markets. All this stuff is coming together right now, guys. It is a big one. If you look at Trump, guess what token he's holding, guys? That's right. Matic is one of his top holdings. He knows what's up because he's got his trading cards on it. He understands this is going to continue to be a big push forward. Last couple of things I want you to pay attention to is Robinhood stablecoin, USDG. Now, many people are still speculating as to where this is going to launch. We think it's going to happen right here. We believe it's going to happen on Polygon, and this is why you're going to see Polygon listed on Robinhood. You'll see the next leg up. Watch for this one, guys. It's a big one. Let's go over to the portfolio and show you what that video that we showed earlier in the very beginning of the show, this video right here, that emergency Degen altcoin portfolio. Let's go find out how we did. And there we are. So Polygon was the one. July 11th was our date of purchasing. We had Jupiter, Helium, Anime, Game Token, Bluefin, Atlas, then we had Byte AI, and HitDex. All of which, these are the max gains. These were the number of days you had to reach. The one loser we had was Game Token, and overall, heavy performance. Of course, HitDex was the big one. Took 3 days, 1,200%. That was a nice move. Other ones that we had that were member bonuses, meaning if you're in our Diamond Circle or in some of our member programs, we gave you these, which was Flow, Hydration, Doodles, Over the Reality, and also FX. So all those continued in the same period of time, 11, 13, 10 days. Those are the kind of gains that we were able to gain there. Now, what are we going to say? Let's go out and do today. Well, these are the ones that we're looking at. Of course, Solana could be because of the retracement. Polygon, we believe, is a no-brainer. It's going to happen. Pengu, we still hold very strongly. Flow, we think, is there. And then, of course, Mythos, and then ZARD is the token to watch there because of these tokenized, or I should say, these securities that are going to start to hold real-world assets out there. We're going to have some secret bonus picks available for you guys. That's coming. That's this black area right here. But we're not going to tell you what that is just yet. But we're going to bring another video to you and get those into you. So you'll get a chance to see how we're playing the market and what kind of research we're doing. Make sure, if you're not in the Diamond Circle right now, that shows you should be. It's the #1 place to get additional content from us. And follow me out there on X, @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on The Paul Barron Show.